Look, I'm about to tell you something, and it might sound like the most cliché thing you've ever heard, but hear me out. Even the strongest person has fears. Come on, man. Really? Such a strong person is afraid? Yes, they are. In fact, maybe they're more afraid than you. The difference? They've learned to manage their fears. The world's most successful CEO wakes up, looks in the mirror, and thinks, "Am I going to screw everything up today?" The world's best athlete, before stepping onto the field, asks themselves, "What if I lose?" Even the bravest soldier is scared going into battle. Fear is human. The problem isn't being afraid. The problem is letting fear control you. Now let's do a little tour of our fears. Like we're walking through a museum. On your left, fear of failure. Ah, the classic. Everyone has this one. What if I fail? What if I try and embarrass myself? What if everyone laughs at me? On your right, fear of loss. This one's heavy, really heavy. Losing someone you love, something you cherish, your dreams. This isn't just fear. This is a complete nightmare. In the center, fear of making mistakes. What if I make the wrong decision? What if this choice ruins my life? What if I regret it later? And so many more. Fear of the dark. Fear of being alone. Fear of rejection. Humans are quite creative at producing fears. Bravo to us. Now, in my opinion, the heaviest fear is the fear of loss. Why? Because other fears are hypothetical. They're what-if fears. But loss? That's real. That happened. That hurt. Losing someone you love. Look, if you haven't experienced it, you can't fully understand. If you have, I don't need to explain. Getting used to that person not being there anymore. Waking up and not calling them. Reaching for your phone to tell them something and going, "Oh, right, they're gone." It's hard. Incredibly hard. But you know what's most interesting? Somehow, people still find the strength. How does this happen? I don't know. Maybe human nature is like that. Maybe life forces it. Maybe there's no other choice. But you find that strength. You get up from the ground. You take one step, then another, and suddenly you realize that life continues. Does the pain continue? Yes. Does the longing continue? Yes. But you continue too. And this is the greatest victory. Now let's talk about fear of failure. What does everyone say? Face your fears. Just do it. Don't think, just jump. No, man. No. This advice is nonsense. Why? Because fear of failure isn't actually fear of failure. What are you talking about? Have you lost it? Listen, you know what fear of failure actually is? It's anxiety about the future. It's fear of not being able to prove yourself. Am I good enough? Will they accept me? Am I valuable? These are the real fears. Think about it. If you have someone next to you who believes in you unconditionally, are you that afraid of failure? Honey, whether you succeed or not, I'm with you. You're valuable to me. If you have someone like that, isn't it much easier to take that risk? But most of us don't have someone like that. Or if we do, we don't believe in ourselves. That's why we're afraid. Because we're alone, and the question, what if I fail, keeps spinning in our heads. Now I'm going to tell you the real solution. The one that isn't cliché. The one that actually works. Do small tasks and start completing them. Dude, what are you saying? I have big goals. I know. But right now your problem isn't big goals. Your problem is not believing in yourself. Look, pick a small task, something you can finish in a week. It can even be something you can finish in a day. Clean a room, organize a closet, write one page, exercise for 10 minutes, call a friend. Small, simple, achievable. Then do it. Finish it. And then tell yourself, I did this. Sounds too simple, right? But this sentence is miraculous. I did this. Do another one. Another small task. Finish it. I did this too. One more. I did this too. And suddenly you realize, look, I can do these things, so maybe I can do that other thing too. That's it. That's the magic right there. Confidence comes this way. Not through big talk, not through big dreams, through small victories. Look, your brain works like this. Have I done this before? No? Then I'm scared. Have I done this before? Yes? Then I can do it. Your job is to create reference points for yourself. 1 small success. 2, 3, 10. Each one tells your brain, look, you can do it. Here's proof. Here's proof. Here's proof. And after a while, when you stand in front of something big, instead of panicking, your brain says, this is like those small things. Just a bit bigger. But we did the small ones, so we can do this too. And that's when the fear of failure starts to shrink. It doesn't disappear. No, it's always there, but it's not controlling you anymore. You're controlling it. Conclusion 29 to 030 to 0. The people who say face your fears aren't wrong, actually, but they're incomplete. Face your fears, but not by lying to yourself. Not unprepared, not like a kamikaze mission. Go for it, but first with small steps. First by building confidence in yourself. First by accumulating evidence that lets you say, I can do this. Every small victory is training that prepares you for the next big battle. Start. Start small, but start. Because I did this is one of the most empowering sentences in life. And once you start saying it, you don't want to stop. Start small, finish big. Because every great journey begins with a single step. Being afraid is normal. Letting fear stop you? That's your choice. Retry Claude can make mistakes.